Hi, my name is Emma Butters from Christ Episcopal School, Troop 8387, and in this video I will be presenting my scenic design for Les Misérables by Claude Michel Schonberg. This show has been designed for the stage at Christ Episcopal School. It will be realized March 27th through 29th, and the scale is 1 foot to 1/2 inch. Immediately, and without a doubt, Les Mis is sad. I mean, it's 19th century France around the Civil War. There's so much death, poverty, discrimination, abuse, anything you can think of, really. So to go with those vibes, I wanted the colors to definitely be more dull. I think it amplifies the downtrodden, subdued environment and aesthetic that is suited for this type of show. In my research, I found that a lot of the cities in France at this time were made with a lot of brick and stone because that is what was cheapest at the time. So those are what I wanted to be my main two building materials, building blocks of the show. So everything's kind of based on those materials. In juxtaposition, however, on stage right, you'll see Jean Valjean's house, which I wanted to look more like a limestone type of material because that is what was used typically for the wealthier houses. And Jean Valjean does get wealthier in the time skip. Before the time skip, however, it is used as the it is used as the priest's house. So this show specifically presented its own unique set of challenges, as when we're putting on the show, we have 2 back-to-back set weeks at my school. Les Mis is the second of the 2 tech weeks. The first one is Matilda. So to make that happen, we had to either have a really, really quick and easy takedown for Matilda and set up for Les Mis, or we had to find a way to make the set pieces work for both shows. And seeing as it's more budget-friendly and more practical, we went with the latter option. The tunnel for Les Mis will double as the entrance to the school in Matilda, and Jean Valjean's house will double as Miss Trunchbull's house, so that we can just make some few minor adjustments in the week leading up to Les Mis' weekend shows and be pretty much good to go. Those minor adjustments include, but are not limited to, making a sign for the front of the school to put on the entrance of the tunnel, and adding some dead plants around the railing and the porch of the house for Mrs. Trunchbull. For this show, I had to keep going back to the drawing board a lot because it is the first one of my designs that is going to be realized. So it's not something I was used to, but I think I took it gracefully. For example, with my initial design for Jean Valjean's house, I really had this specific idea in mind with gray, stone at the bottom and wood beams making these kinds of triangle shapes. But I guess she's closest to a technical director, my troop director, she kept saying that that design looked too poor. So eventually I had to compromise. So I drew up 3 different sketches of what I could make Jean Valjean's house look like, and eventually just asked her to pick one. So that's what we did. This design has been the closest I've ever worked with somebody else closely, and I find that I didn't really mind it. I actually quite enjoyed it. I love being able to bounce ideas off of people. I find it a lot easier than just kind of sitting there and brewing with your own thoughts. Talking with her, the main thing she really wanted was a tunnel and viable 2 stories. So she wanted to be able to have a balcony and have people be able to either go out on or look out of that balcony. I really wanted to have a bridge in the back. So having the bridge in the back, since this show will use projections, it would have to be able to work with both the factory scenes as well as the outside scenes and the barricade scenes, etc., etc. So the best option to do that was to make it brick, and so that in the factory scenes it would kind of blend in as just this indoor bridge. For the 2 stories, we're not able to have a full out balcony, like people can walk on it and stuff, but we are able to have a ladder going up and a light of some sort and people being able to stick their heads out. So that was a compromise that we did. The tunnel, we didn't really have to compromise on. That went great. Personally, I would have really liked if we were able to have the brick and stone elements be actually textured with grout or something. Unfortunately, due to budget and practicality and just time in general, we are not able to do that, so it will just be painted on and textured through the paint. Paint texturing. Yes. To do the texturing for my model, however, I just mixed some paint and sand, and I laid a layer of what I wanted the quote-unquote grout color to be, and then I put a stencil that I laser cut on top and applied it on top, and then once that dried, I used a sponge to kind of dab on colors and make it look grimy. Speaking of laser cutting, a lot of the little wood pieces you'll see, such as the wheels and the windows and the doors and the shutters, were laser cut. So that is how I got all those precise lines and whatnot. And the back of the model with the factory windows and whatnot, that is the projection design from our projection designer, who is another student. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for your time.